If you came to this video looking for maintenance or the proper techniques, the way to maintain or fix your Harley Sportster, you came to the wrong video, I'm sorry. But if you're here for good entertainment, stay tuned.
Because these horsemen ride with the fist outside, with heads like thunder, the rock of your pride. We'll have no mercy for big, far and wide.
What is up, Whiskey Chaser fam? Welcome back to another video. Hope y'all are doing super great today. It is Saturday, the day of the Nashville Marathon, which means got a little bit of traffic going on the highway right here. But that's okay because that gives me the opportunity to talk to you. While there's not too much wind noise going around, while there's not too much engine noise, while there's not trucks trying to push me off the road because, you know, that's how they do it. I'm going in front of you, sorry. I'm on my way right now to meet up with the one, the only Father Bobber. Once again, even though he was just here, him and Steph are on their way to New Orleans, Louisiana. They are stopping in Nashville on their way down to come hang out with me. At least that's what, you know, I'm going to tell myself. They specifically wanted a Bloody Mary, so I found this place that on the channel we've been to before. It was actually back in September when we came and visited Nashville for the first time. It's called Hi-Fi Clyde's. It was really fun. It was really good food. So I said, hey, you know, we should go check this place out. I have not been since we came in September, and they've never been before, period. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining me. If this is your first video, welcome. I really appreciate you being here. Consider hitting that subscribe button. It's right down there. If this is not your first video, also go check out that subscribe button because I've been looking at my analytics and I can tell you that it looks like a lot of people who are watching my videos actually aren't subs. So I'd really appreciate it if you go down there and just look and make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. If you enjoy this sort of content of me riding around doing all kinds of stuff. Last week went to Alabama for the first time. It was awesome. Had a great time hanging with my buddy Jake from State Farm, who is one of my amazing Patreons, a Patreon member, if you will. Alright. So you put the blinker on first and then you come over. You don't try to come over and then throw your blinker on for one flash. That's not how that works. Speaking of Patreons, I have a Patreon member of the week that I do every week. Well, except for the one time I skipped it. That was my bad, y'all. Sorry. Patreon member of the week this week is going to go to Tuxcarius. Tuxcarius is a guy from Wisconsin. He's a super nice guy. Came out and hung out with me at Mama Tried, and also I've hung with him at the Forgotten Angels campouts before. Really, really awesome dude. Brought me a beer from Wisconsin. He's like, you can't get this anywhere else. Also brought me a little pull of his whiskey from Wisconsin. He was like, this is only here. You can't get it. You can't get it outside the state. Dude, you bring me whiskey and beer, especially stuff that I can't normally get, you're an alright guy in my book. So Tuxcarius, you rock, man. Thank you so much for being this week's Patreon member of the week. Look for bikes. Yep, look for bikes. That also includes motorbikes. Damn, this bike is so cool. It pulls so hard. I love it. Parker has been stealing my bike, going out for joyrides. She's like, I love this bike so much. It's so fast and it's so loud and it just rides really well. And I mean, she's right, man. She got that Milwaukee 8, which is a killer engine in a bike. It's got so much torque, a lot of power in that thing, but it just doesn't have the snappy response that this twin cam has. This thing just, man, when you want to go, it goes. I'm telling you, this is probably one of the greatest motorcycles that Harley ever made. Seriously, I was not kidding when I made that video. Oh, I see a motorcycle. Woo, buddy! Welcome back. It's like we haven't seen you in forever.
All right, so we ended up getting Bloody Marys up here.
They're very bloody.
They're very bloody. She dropped my olives on the table, but she brought me new ones, so it's okay. So how's your Bloody Mary?
It's delicious.
It's delicious?
That's pretty good.
All right, let's see if I think it's good. Wow, that is really good. I like that a lot. So Father Robert here just goes, Canada's really angry with me right now. We were talking about the poutine, how poutine's from Canada. He said Canada's really angry with me right now. Why is Canada angry with you?
Well, about 2 months ago on my way to work, I hit a goose coming down the hill, and the goose shattered my front bumper. You could see its head and neck outline in my front bumper of my car. So 2 weeks ago in my truck, I hit another goose. And my son looks back, and we both look back, and the goose has exploded with thousands of feathers. And he said, Dad, you just murdered a goose. And I'm like, Canada, man, they got something after me. I don't get
You
it.
done pissed off the Canadians. That's hard to do.
So I got my beer, nice Montucky Cold Snack, which is one of the best beers ever. And my boy here goes, ooh, I want one of those.
Let's
so
see.
Take a little sip, take a little sippy sip of that. It's delicious.
That's pretty good.
It's delicious.
It's a nice light lager.
I love my cold snack.
What are you talking
The what?
I got the Nashville, I don't know. I asked for just the local,
It's not on here.
started with the pinch.
But was it Nashville
See if
Brewery?
you can find
Yes.
it.
Oh, he's got it.
Okay.
What is it?
Pinch. It's the Nashville Lager Pinch Invasion.
Oh, wow. I don't.
Pitch. Oh, pitch.
I don't make that beer, so
It doesn't. He didn't make it. It doesn't even matter.
it doesn't count.
Throw that out.
Doesn't count. Throw it out. Throw it out.
All right, that's it for Father Bobber and some stuff. They're going off to Mississippi. He even has Crocs packed away in his little bag over there. Adios. See you guys next time on the Father Bobber channel. Yeah, that's right. If you guys don't watch his videos, you should, because his video of when they came down here was way better than my video. 100%. I was laughing my ass off the entire video, dude. It was a pretty damn good video. Yeah, you should definitely go check that out. All right. Go subscribe to Father Bobber. All right, guys. See you later. Oh, boo! Boo! Bye, guys.
All right, welcome back. It is the next day. So what I'm going to try to do right now is work on the Sportster a little bit. I want to really get this thing running before I really do anything else to it. So first thing I'm going to do is try to get this carburetor off and try to rebuild it. It's been sitting for a very long time and it hasn't run, and I think it could just use a rebuild no matter what. The thing has almost 30,000 miles on it. Anyway, I've never done this before. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing. Hey, I have some YouTube videos that have led me to this point, so I feel slightly confident enough that I can kind of figure this out. We'll see. All right, here we go. All right, so first thing I got to do is get this air cleaner off of here. This thing is going to be replaced because it's not in the greatest condition anyway, and also I hate the way it looks. Whoop, forgot about those. There is our deliciously dirty carburetor. It's got all kinds of crud up in there. Oh, I should probably turn the gas off first. Ooh. Dude, this thing is tearing this thing up. This is brand new cable. No wonder it was getting stuck. Oh man, look at that. We got a carburetor. Did it. So if you remember before, I was having trouble with my cables, and I think it's safe to say I found the issue of why it was binding up. So this was a brand new cable when I got it. So I don't really understand why it got all chewed up like this. That's no good. Let's gonna have to be replaced again. This one seems fine. Looks okay. It's also smoothly moving. This one is not smoothly moving. I don't know what happened, but oh well. Another part to replace. Alright, here we are inside. I don't necessarily know if I needed to do this, but I figured that I'd go ahead and try it, even though I've never done it before. However, I do have some videos that I'm going to be going through to try to work out how to do this. I have my rebuild kit right here, ready to go. And hopefully everything is here that I will possibly need to be able to rebuild this thing, clean it up, and put it back on the bike, and hopefully we can get this thing running. So I think it's okay, to be honest, but those jets might be just a little bit clogged up, and I want to go ahead and get those things unclogged and get new ones in there and all that kind of good stuff. Shout out to my buddy Saddle Tramp. I'm actually using his video, which is a carburetor how to rebuild for Harley-Davidson Sportster. Little did I know that I would need Saddle Tramp's advice and help rebuilding this carburetor, but I'll tell you what, man, I'm glad I got it. So right now I'm going to go ahead and do what he recommends, which is take off the float bowl. This would be really embarrassing if I couldn't get the first part off. Alright, it took a little bit of convincing, but I finally managed to get the float bowl screws off. So we'll take this thing off here, and that is very nice. Where are you at? Ugh, gross. Looks like this definitely needed to come off. There's a lot of crud in here, for sure. It looks like I have to get this float bowl out. I gotta push from one side, it looks like.
If you have one of those, you have to be very careful not to bust the ears off of one of these if you push it in the wrong way. That's that.
That doesn't help me. You didn't say which way to do it. Alright, I remembered I had some of these. It's not exactly a punch, but it's it's like small enough for a punch, and I have a jeweler's hammer that I used to knock out pins in my watches on my metal watch bands. So I finally was able to get that in there and get that loose. Finally, freaking A. So luckily we should be able to, with a little luck. I say luckily. That seems to be happening a lot. So let's see what's next on the old Saddle Tramp video. There it is. Ooh. I'm going to put all my new parts over here. What's next? Now we're moving along. Man, I really wish I knew what I was doing. Oh, if this Sportster runs after this, I'm going to be so happy. Nice. Cool. That works right. That works right. That works right. Alright, went ahead and finished everything up off camera because this is not a tutorial on how to rebuild a carburetor, obviously, because I have no idea what the hell I'm doing, as I've said multiple times in this video. But everything seems to be all back together and working correctly. Everything is moving the way that it was before I did this, so I got the jets back in correctly, and I put the idle jet in there and then backed it off a quarter of a turn right where it was before. I did actually end up using the old main jet because I watched another video from Lowbrow Customs. Thank you guys, appreciate it. They were showing me how they have numbers on the jets. So this is actually a 170 and the one I have on from the factory is a 175. I don't know if that's going to make a huge difference, but I wanted to put the original back in there just because it was a 175. The slow jet is the same I looked at the number and it's the same, so I put the new one in. We should hopefully be good to go. I'm gonna put this on there and then hook it up, and we'll see if we can get this thing started. How about that? All right, everybody, we are out here with our rebuilt carburetor, even though it doesn't look all that great because I don't have all the best cleaning materials. However, it should be pretty good, and it makes a very nice noise. I'm gonna put it on and throw some gas in her, see how she does. Choke. Yes. Okay. The battery's dead, but it fucking worked. Alright, so the battery is completely dead. I have it on a battery like jumper, but as soon as the battery jumper stops, which it stops pretty quickly, it stops running because it can't keep up. However, dude, it's fucking running. Hell yes. Ooh, motherfucker, yeah! Alright, put the choke on. So there you have it, folks. The Sportster is running. That is a huge accomplishment for me. I don't know if it necessarily was the carb that needed to be rebuilt, but I'm glad that I did it anyway. I familiarized myself with a lot of the components that were in there that I just really didn't know about. I had rebuilt a lawnmower carb a long time ago. I'm talking when I was like 12 years old, I rebuilt that thing. So to be able to do this, even though it wasn't that expensive, I am very happy that I was able to get in there and do that. Hey, the thing's running, man. That's amazing. This is one huge step forward for the Sportster chopper build. Next thing is going to be getting the engine out of there and putting it probably in either a new frame or getting the weld-on frame for this. And yeah, that's going to be a long ways down the road for sure. But if you'd like to support that kind of stuff, I have my Patreon down below. That's going to be going towards this build, and I'll be putting exclusive pictures and content and all that kind of stuff in my Patreon, as well as on my Discord, which you get access to with my Patreon. And you get the polls, which are going to be what like color to paint this, what name should we give it, what should we do necessarily with the front end, with the wheels, with all this kind of stuff. I have my own vision, but I'm definitely not going to cut back on anybody else's. So if you'd like to really be part of this build, join my Patreon, $1 a month, that's all it costs at minimum, and then that goes towards rebuilding this thing right here. That carb rebuild kit, even though it didn't cost a lot of money, I did purchase that with Patreon funds. So thank you so much to my Patreons. Thank you especially to my Patreon of the week, who is Toxicarius. And if you want to be a Patreon member of the week, go on down, you know what to do. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this build, on this journey, on this video for getting the Sportster back up and running. Man, I can't believe it. I can't quite take it out yet. I gotta get that battery changed. I gotta get these front tires changed. I probably need to change the oil. It's been a long time. But hey, dude, we're one step closer. Man, this is a huge accomplishment for you. You guys have no idea. I'm so happy right now. Thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it. Love you. See you later.